Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Chemical Engineer on YouTube. In this video I will be talking about the chapter 1 motion of class 9th physics. So before going to the main topic, let me tell you what we are going to learn. So the first topic that we are going to learn is the basic about motion and its types. So there are various types of motion and that we will see in the upcoming slides. Next we will be seeing about the difference between distance and displacement, and we will solve 2 to 3 questions on it. Next is the what we will be discussing is speed and its type. Next is velocity with its practice questions. Then we will study about acceleration, and then we will discuss about some graphs. Okay, so I hope you will like the video, so please watch it. So what is motion? So motion is defined as change in position of anything with respect to time or with respect to some stationary frame of reference. So now suppose anything is changing its position from one position to other, and it is changing position with respect to time, then we can say that the body is performing some motion. Also stationary frame of reference. So you may have not heard this term, but stationary frame of reference is a reference. Suppose here is some ball and here is some rock. Okay, so now when I hit this ball, the ball will move in this direction, and suppose it stops here. So according to me, ball has moved in this direction and this much distance, but with respect to this rock, ball has moved from this initial position to this final position. So this is how we consider one reference, that is stationary reference, which is not moving. Okay, so this is what we call a stationary reference. Also for stationary frame of reference we can consider a bus. So suppose one guy is sitting in a bus, he is stationary with respect to bus because he is moving with the speed of a bus. So when he sees someone out there with moving with his or walking with his legs, he may not be stationary to him, but with respect to the bus, the man sitting inside the bus will be stationary. So this is actually stationary frame of reference. Okay, so there are two terms to describe motion. First is distance and second is displacement. So these are all the examples of the motion. So when you are going with a dog, so that is also a type of motion. You are moving from your house to outside the world, so that is also a type of motion. Then this moving zombie towards you is also doing some motion. So everything on this universe, even earth is doing its motion around sun is doing its motion around galaxies, and galaxies are doing motion in some other black hole or something. So this is how everyone is doing their motion, and motion is very important to do. So types of motion. So basically we have many types of motion, but mainly we have oscillatory motion, then translational motion, and rotational motion. So oscillatory motion is the motion, suppose if the motion of a spring is oscillatory motion, like this. So there will be some oscillation in the motion, and so that motion is the oscillatory motion. To and fro motion, like a swing. You are sitting on a swing, it will go and come back, it will go and come back, and so that is what a motion, that is oscillation. Next is rotational motion. Rotational motion, that is what we have discussed, that is the motion of earth around the sun, moon around earth. So this is all example of rotational motion. Now in translational motion we have three, that is motion in a straight line, that is also known as rectilinear motion. So in this chapter we will be mostly considering motion in a straight line, that is rectilinear path. Okay, so this is motion in a straight line is known as rectilinear motion. Motion in a curve, suppose something is curved, or the motion like moving box or moving ball, that all type of motion comes in curvilinear motion. Next is circular motion. Circular motion is same as the motion of a tire or motion of earth around sun. Random motion. Next we have random motion. Random motion is nothing but a motion in any direction without any specific direction. So motion of a smoke goes in all direction without any specific conditions. So that is random motion. Now we will talk about distance and displacement. So distance is defined as a length traveled by any body is known as distance. A simple definition is a distance. So suppose a man moves from this to this position, so the distance, that is the length between these 2 points, that is point A and point B, is known as distance. So this is the length known as distance. Okay, and it is a scalar quantity. Means what are scalar quantities? So scalar quantities only have magnitude. Magnitude in sense, this distance is written as, suppose distance between A to B is 7 meter, so B equal to 7 meter. So this is how we show distance in terms of calculation. So this is distance. Okay, so this is about distance. Now minimum distance between initial and final position is known as displacement. So suppose A to B is the given path. In this case, in rectilinear motion, distance is always equal to displacement. Okay, in one directional motion, distance is always equal to displacement. So in this case, displacement is also equal to 7 meter, but in order to show that it is a displacement, we give its direction. So displacement is a vector quantity. So direction is, suppose this is a north direction, so in order to show that this is a displacement, we will write it as 7 meter towards north. Okay, so this is how we write about displacement. So SI unit of distance and displacement is meter. So this is the example of how can we differentiate between distance and displacement. So suppose this is point A and this point is B. Now body starts its motion along the circumference and reaches to point B. It moves along the circumference. So this is half the circumference, so the distance traveled by a body will be circumference of a circle, that is 2 pi r, and circumference is half, so 2 pi r by 2, so that is equal to pi r, or we can in general for this case it is 22 by 7 multiplied by radius. Radius is given as 7 centimeter. So in this case distance is 22 centimeter. Okay, 22 centimeter is its distance if it goes from point A to point B on the circumference. Now to differentiate distance with displacement, displacement is the, what we have discussed, it is a minimum distance. So rather than going from this path, it will move to the straight line like this, and this A to B is the two endpoints of a circle, and two endpoints of a circle is equal to diameter, that is equal to 2 times radius, and that is equal to 14 centimeter. So I hope you are clear what is distance and what is displacement. So displacement is nothing but a shortest path that is available to travel. So now let's solve one question on it. So this is a question. A body moves from A to B and then B to C. So its distance is 4 km plus 3 km. Total distance is 7 km. Now the question is, you have to find its displacement. So in order to find this displacement, I am not going to do it here. You have to comment the answer. And so hint is use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, Pythagoras theorem. That is the hint from my side. So you have to comment down the displacement. So pause the video, comment displacement. Okay, so let me tell you, displacement is this path, nothing else but this path, because it is the shortest distance between A to C. So initial point is A, final point is C. So shortest path between initial and final point gives displacement. So tell me the answer in comments. Now we will discuss about speed. So speed is nothing but a distance traveled per unit time, that is given as, okay, so unit is meter per second, meter divided by second. Speed is also a scalar quantity. It does not shows the direction of motion. So average speed or the speed is given as the total distance traveled divided by total time taken. That is what we have discussed. D by T or S by T, we can write distance as S also. So this is how we can show a speed. So speed, how can we calculate speed? Comment it down. So there is a one question. So let me tell you, all the formulas that I have written in on the slides, that are the only formulas that we will use for solving numericals. So the question is, an object travels 16 meter in 4 seconds. So you have to make a table, distance and time table. So 16 meter in 4 seconds, and then another 16 meter in 2 seconds, another 16 meter in 2 seconds. Okay, so this is how we can make a table. Now what is average speed? Nothing to do but apply this formula. Total distance is 16 plus 16 and total time is 4 seconds plus 2 seconds. So calculate it and comment down the answer. So answer is 5.33 meter per second. Now you tell me in comments that how can we reach to this answer. Okay, next we will discuss about velocity. So velocity is nothing but a speed with direction. Now when we specify a direction to a speed, like what we have discussed in the distance and displacement, north, right, left, other, all these terms are showing the directions. So when we add direction term with magnitude of a speed, that is speed is discussed. Okay, so unit of speed is meter per second, SI unit. So unit of SI unit of velocity is also meter per second, but it also shows the direction. So nothing, it is displacement divided by time, as we know that displacement shows the time direction. So displacement divided by time is known as velocity. Now in some cases, when an object is doing non-uniform motion, what is non-uniform motion, that we will be discussing in the next video. So suppose an object is doing non-uniform motion, matlab suppose he is going with velocity of 5 meter per second to this, up to this point, and then changing it velocity to 8 meter per second. So that is the non-uniform motion. that is velocity is changing. Hence when velocity change, acceleration also change. That all we will discuss in upcoming slides. But when the non-uniform motion is going on, average velocity, that is, suppose a bus travel 60 km for 10 minutes, 20 km for other 10 minutes, 30 km for other, then we will say that the velocity is not constant, or velocity is changing with respect to time. So for that we will do initial velocity plus final velocity by 2, average. We will use average velocity in those cases. Here in this video I will not be discussing those cases, but this is only for information to calculate average velocity. So this is given as u plus v by 2. V is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, and 2 is the denominator term to divide it by 2. You may know that we do mean. Okay, so this is nothing but we are doing mean of a velocity. Okay, so now question. So question is simple, that the odometer. So I hope you all know that odometer is, what is odometer? So odometer calculates the distance in all the vehicles. So odometer of a car reads 2000 km at the start of a trip and 2400 km at the end of the trip. So nothing to do, write all the data first. So initial velocity, final velocity. Okay, so here average, we have to find average speed. So in order to find average speed we will use the formula, this one, total distance divided by total time. Okay, so total distance divided by total time. Total distance here is 2000 plus 2400, that is 4400 kilometers. So total distance is, odometer reads 2000 km at the start, means when we start the car odometer shows 2000 km, and at the end of the trip it shows 2400 km. That means the distance traveled by a car is 400 kilometers. Okay, so that is simple, and time taken is 8 hours. So we need to find average speed in kilometer per hour. So in order to find speed in kilometer per hour, we will not do nothing but divide 400 divided by 8. So that will yield to 50 km per hour. Now in order to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, we use kilometer per hour multiply by kilometer per hour multiply by 5 divided by 18. So multiplying it with 5 divided by 18 will give answer in meter per second. This is how we calculate. This is 1000 meter divided by 3600 seconds. So this will same as 5 divided by 18. So 13.9 meter per second is the correct answer. Okay, so now we will discuss about acceleration. So acceleration is nothing but change in velocity divided by time. Unit of velocity is meter per second and time is second. So this second will be multiplied, meter per second square is the unit. Okay, so meter per second square is the unit of acceleration. So acceleration is what we give to a car. So when we push an accelerator in a car, the change in velocity is observed, and this change in velocity leads to acceleration. So it is given as v minus u by t. V is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, and t is the time. Okay, so we are done with the basics of the motion chapter. Now we will draw some graphs. So before drawing graph, always plot time on x-axis. I hope you will be knowing that on a graph we have y-axis and this axis as the x-axis. So always draw time on the x-axis, and on y-axis we will be drawing distance, velocity and acceleration. Okay, so all the quantities we will be drawing on y-axis and time on x-axis. Now slope of a graph. Slope, suppose there is a line. Slope is, or suppose this type of curve is present in a graph, then the slope is nothing but a tangent. So that all we will be discussing in maths. So but for this case, slope is nothing but dy by dx, that is the quantity on y-axis divided by quantity on x-axis. Okay, so this is the slope. This is important to remember, okay, because y by x is the slope. And area under this graph, suppose we have this graph, this is a line, so area under this line, that is this area what I am drawing, this area is known as the area under the line, and this area can be given as x quantity multiplied by y quantity on x-axis multiplied by quantity on y-axis. Okay, so this is simple, you need to remember it. Now distance time graph. So in distance time graph we will plot distance on y-axis and time on x-axis. So as discussed, slope is nothing but y divided by x. So on y-axis we have distance, on x-axis we have time. So distance divided by time is the slope, which is also known as velocity or speed. Distance time graph always gives speed, displacement time graph gives velocity. So these are three cases of distance time graph. So first let us discuss this case. Here you will see that there is a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis or time axis. So when this line is parallel to the time axis, this shows that the body is at rest. Why? Because if it is changing position, then distance should increase, but here distance is not increasing, hence we can say body is at rest. Okay, so whenever there is a parallel line to the time axis, we can say that body is at rest. Next case is the uniform motion case. When a body covers equal distance in equal time interval, like in this. See here, body at 40 minutes, it has covered some distance that is corresponding to this point, and on 60 minutes it is covering the same distance. Hence in 20 interval of 20 minutes it is covering the same distance. So slope is constant all over the time. Slope is constant. Hence we can say that it is doing uniform motion, that is covering equal distance in equal time. So uniform motion is represented as a straight line starting from the origin and going straight to the perpendicular, or we can say at a same angle. Third graph is of the non-uniform motion. So in this case, here body is slope is something like this, and here the slope becomes steep. Hence we can say body is covering non-equal distance in equal time interval. Like in 2 minutes it has covered 1 meter. Next in 4 minutes it has covered 4 meters. In 6 minutes it is at 9 meters. And at 8 minutes it is at 16 meters. Hence it is covering non-equal distances. So with each time it is covering non-equal distance, hence this motion is non-uniform motion. So question may become that what type of graph we obtain in non-uniform motion. So this graph is known as parabola. Okay, parabola, P-A-R-A-B-O-L-A. And for uniform motion we will get a straight line, or we can say line. Okay, so this is how we can differentiate. And always remember that distance can never be negative or 0, while displacement can be 0. Okay, distance can never be 0, while displacement can be 0. Next is velocity time graph. Again, slope of velocity time graph shows y by x, that is v by t, and velocity divided by time is what we have discussed as acceleration. Here slope is acceleration, while the area under this graph is x multiplied by y, that is velocity multiplied by time. And from this equation, suppose we take this time to this side, v into t is the distance. Hence, for velocity time graph, v into t is displacement. So area under this curve is known as displacement. Now we have three cases in this velocity time graph. That is, first case is a straight line. So when there is a straight line, slope of a line is 0, hence acceleration is 0 meter per second square. That is, our body is moving with constant speed, that is, there is no change in speed, and change in speed occurs, and so this acceleration occurs only when there is a change in speed. So this is the first curve. Second curve is speed increases uniformly. So when a line that is inclined at some positive angle is observed, then we can say that speed is increasing with time. Okay, so here speed is increasing with time. We can say that the slope is positive, and as it is a straight line, it is a uniform acceleration or uniform motion. So body is performing uniform acceleration when we obtain this type of line. Now when this line is going downwards, we can say that velocity is decreasing with time, or the slope is negative. So slope is negative, and this condition is also known as retardation, that is the opposite of acceleration. Okay, so this is all about uniform motion. For non-uniform motion, we will obtain the curve like a parabola. If it is going up, we can say a non-uniform acceleration, and if it is going down, we can say non-uniform deceleration or retardation. Next is acceleration versus time graph. So acceleration versus time, area under the acceleration versus time graph gives velocity. So this colored region shows the velocity. Okay, so from 4 meter per second square, a body starts moving up to 3 minutes or 3 seconds. Then it starts reducing its acceleration, and this acceleration is also known as deceleration or deceleration. Okay, so this decrease in the slope of acceleration versus time is known as deceleration or deceleration. And the area under this, whatever this colored part, area of this, so we can calculate area by doing this, that is taking first calculating the area of a rectangle, calculating area of a triangle, and calculating area of this triangle. So after total area, we will try to add this and this area, but we will try to subtract this area. So suppose this is 1, this is area 2, and this is 3. So the total velocity is given by area 1 plus area 2 minus area 3. Okay, so this is how we can calculate total velocity. So this is all about the chapter motion in CBSE as well as in state boards, NCERT. In next video I will be discussing about equation of motion, Newton's law of motion. Then we will step up to the chapter force, energy, and so on. So like, share and subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching the video.